What is up everyone, welcome back to another manga collection video. This is for April of 2017 and I'm going to start off with my Viz Media pickups. So first off, we've got the first 5 volumes of Yu-Gi-Oh! Duelist. So we've got volume 1, volume 2, volume 3. I love Yu-Gi-Oh! As a kid, I always used to watch the anime. I thought to myself, why not get some more manga of it? Because I know this part, I think, focuses more on the actual dueling, whereas the original first 7 focused on like little mini games. So this should be better for the card dueling bits. Next up, we have volume 12 of Blue Exorcist. I'm loving this series, especially after the recent anime. So I thought I'd continue on with that. Another Exorcist one, we've got Twin Star Exorcist, volume 6. Not as much of a fan of the anime, but I'm enjoying the manga. It's going in a different route, I think, so it should be better. Next up, we've got some more Dragon Ball. We've got Dragon Ball Volume 4. Loving the spines. So good. Love the art. Especially when manga has art like that, it's always the better thing to do instead of getting the like 3-in-1s that don't really have good ones. Here we've got Volume 5. And Volume 6. And next up, we have some Dragon Ball Z this time. Volume 4, Piccolo. Volume 5. And Volume 6. Next up, we've got a volume of Dead Man Wonderland Volume 11. That last month, I didn't get this because the post took way too long. But I've now completed Dead Man Wonderland, all 13 volumes, and I'm ready to read through that. Next up, as you can see, I've got a missing gap here for one of the volumes, which is volume 13 of Food Wars. Loving this series. Who doesn't love a good cooking? Next up, we have Goodnight Pun Pun, volume 2. Such a funny series. It's so fun to read. It's just simple and just a lovely little comedy. Next up, we have JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Stardust Crusaders volume 1. Love this series, it's so fun to read. And then next up we have one of the only 2 shoujo manga I have, which is Yona of the Dawn, volume 3. It's a nice little journey adventure with Yona and this bloke, bad guy. Next up we have Black Clover, volume 4. Everyone says it's a bit generic, but I'm still enjoying it, so I'll keep reading. Next up, we have a series that not many people I've seen have, which is After School Charisma. It's about people that are reborn as clones of this character, and it's really fun. They keep getting killed off for some reason. Next up, we have Dogs Prelude, Volume 0. I heard the Dog series was quite good, so I thought I'd start off with the prequel kind of story, just to start it. Next up, we have 20th Century Boys, Volume 5, Volume 6, Volume 7, Volume 8, and finally Volume 9. I have so much more to catch up on. There's over 20 volumes, so I'm going to have to keep reading that. Next up we have a few single volumes, which I have of Orihimo, was it Kuroneko? Yeah, was it sequel series to the original by Dark Horse? Should be good. Next up we have a random book from a publisher I have no idea who, by FB Nijigahara Holograph. I've heard amazing things, so I thought we'd give it another try. Next up we have a Kodansha pickups. First off, we have the deluxe edition of Ghost in the Shell. A lovely hardback cover. And I cannot wait to start reading this because I know there's 1.5 and 2 also to read, so they should be good. Next up we have Inuyashiki Volume 3. I love this story about Inuyashiki, about him being reborn and always becoming like a hero to everyone, which is nice. Next up we have another hardback cover of Vinland Saga. Everyone says this is amazing. I will back up that claim. It is very good and everyone should be reading it, to be blunt. Next up we have Fairy Tail Volume 7. Let me just grab the others. We got Volume 8, Volume 9, Volume 10, and Volume 11. I need to catch up with that very badly because I think there's over 60 volumes now and I'm really far behind. Next up we have Volume 13 of the 7 Deadly Sins. This is probably one of my favourite manga and it's one of the first series I ever started, so it's got a very special place in my heart. Next up we have Attack on Titan, the special edition of Volume 17, which comes with the OVA of Levi and a story they happen to come across. I will leave a picture of that in the description, or not in the description, in the video. Next up we have Sankare, Volume 3, nice little zombie story. And then finally for Kodansha, we have the first volume of Clockwork Planet, which just started its anime. And so far I'm enjoying it, so hopefully the manga is just as good. Next up we have some EM press releases, starting off with Alice in Murderland in yet another very nice hardback book. Very odd story, but I'm still having fun with it. Next up we have Is This a Zombie? Yeah, Is This a Zombie? Yeah, Volume 3. So, it's an okay story, I'm still going with it, hopefully it improves. Next up we have Higurashi, Volume 5, or the first volume of the Curse Killing arc. I think what brings me back to this each time is the fact that it's got different story arcs and they all change, so hopefully it's another good arc. Next up we have Dragons Rioting, Volume 5. It's a nice little superpower fighting manga, so good to continue. Next up we have another zombie one, which is School Live, Volume 4. Looking forward to reading this, especially after what happened in the last volume, so hopefully it lives up to it. Next up we have one of my favourites, which is Prison School Volume 6. This is so raunchy and just so funny. Everyone should be reading it, it's that good. Next up we have a new volume, which is Until Death Do Us Part, in a very big omnibus. I read the synopsis for it and I was intrigued, so I thought I'd give it a look. Hopefully it lives up to that. And finally for the Empress, one volume I did forget from last month's haul is the hardback book of Erased. It's very nice, the kind of papery cover isn't very good, but the hardback book's nice, so hopefully the story's just as good as that. Next up we have some vertical releases. So first off I'll start with My Neighbour Seki, Volume 3, Volume 4, Volume 5, Volume 6, and Volume 7. Such funny little short stories in the class. Then another vertical, we have Tokyo ESP. People have said it's like the X-Men of manga, so I thought I'd give it more go. It's just as good as it sounds. Next up we have Knights of Sidonia Volume 3. Love the art, love the story, can't go wrong. And finally for vertical we have a very nice manga hardback book which everyone says is the best. Mobile Suit Gundam, The Origin. I've heard nothing but greatness about this volume and the story, so I've finally decided to get it. And then finally we have 7 Seas pickups. So first off I'll start with A Centaur's Life, Volume 5. It's a nice little slice of life story which I'm continuing. Next up is a new volume of Not Lives. Another stuck in a game, so can't go wrong there. Next up we have Showman Sample Volume 4. Nice little story about getting stuck in an all-girls school. 7 Seas, can't go wrong, they always know what they're doing. Another series that I enjoy, not everyone likes, but The Testament Sister New Devil. Enjoyed the anime, enjoying the manga, so I thought I'd continue. Next up we have The 7 Princes of the Thousand Year Labyrinth, a new title. This synopsis intrigued me, so I thought I'd give it a whirl. Next up we have volume, I think it's 6 or 11 and 12 of Freezing. Enjoying it. It's a very nice battle manga. Here we have another 7 Seas title that I don't really know much about, but I trust Seven Seas to bring me good titles. So, Lord Marksman and Van and Dish. No, not much about it, but it looks like it could be a good read. Next up, we have How to Build a Dungeon, Book of the Demon King. Very raunchy, very interesting. See how it goes. Next up, The Sacred Blacksmith, Volume 3. Nice story about knights, medieval, and all of the demons you can think of. Next up, we have Horror Hour of the Zombie Volume 4. This story is very interesting about people going back to zombies, then go back to human. I really want to see how it ends up. Next up, we have a very interesting title by Seven Seas, which is Please Tell Me Galko-chan. It's nice little short stories of different coloured pages. I recommend it for people that like short little comedies. Next up, we have Magi of the Ninth. It's a weird series about people that battle with music, so see how that goes. Next up, we have Holy Corpus Rising. Another medieval kind of one with the church. It's a good story. Almost there, but next we have Toradora, Volume 2. It's a nice little romance story. And then finally, we have My Girlfriend is a T-Rex Volume 2, which is the final volume. It's a nice little comedy. There we go, everyone. That's all the volumes for this month. I think together it comes to about 72 volumes overall. So hopefully you enjoyed. I hopefully want to be putting out more videos since I finished uni and everything's done. So I should be putting out another videos later this week. So look out for that, and I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you in the next video.